to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. So if you are new to my channel, you are welcome. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to Stylish Naija YouTube channel and then hit on the bell also to get an update whenever I upload a new video. Okay, so in today's video, we're going to be doing a very quick and easy one. So this is like a beginner's and tutorial. So we're going to be doing this basque, round basque top. So it is an off-shoulder round basque top. So that's what we're going to be doing. It is simple. So we're going to be cutting it as a simple bustier. It is very simple. So I have some lines on my fabric. So we'll cut out the front piece first before cutting out the back. So for the front, we're going to use 5 inches because it is an off-shoulder top. So this is the 5 inches for our shoulder, and then the bust point is 10, the under bust is 13, and then our waist is 17, and then the full length of the basque is 25. So what you are going to do, I'm going to come to this part. I'm going to mark out my bust span. So for the bust span, I'm using 4 inches. So I'm just going to rule that 4 inches from the top to the bottom like this. And then the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to come to my under bust. I'll take 1 inch to this right and then take 1 inch to the left. I'll connect this 1 inch to this point. It is a simple tutorial. And then this to this. And then I'll come to this shoulder part. I'll mark 1 inch to the right and then ½ inch to the left. I'll connect it like this, and then I'll connect this one to this one. So this part is going to be blended. It's not really sharp. It's going to be round. I'll just blend it like this. And then from this point, I'm going to take my dart. I'll mark it to this point like this. I'll join it to this point like this. And then this one also, I will join it to this point like this also. So the next thing we're going to do now, I'm going to take out my shoulder measurement. So for the shoulder measurement, I'm going to use 14. So you remember this is 1.5. 1.5. So this 1.5, I'm not going to cut this 1.5. Okay, so let me use a different method of doing this. So I'm going to cut this out now. Let me use another simple method. So I'll cut out the dart. Okay, so here's what we are going to do. I'm going to take this center piece now, place it here like this. Okay, so you see this is a little bit easier. So I'll just place it like this. So now I'm going to take out my full body measurement. So what I'm going to do, I'll come to this shoulder part. You know it is an off shoulder, so normally I'm supposed to use 7 inches, but I'm going to take out 1 inch. So I'll mark 6 inches here. That's 7 inches is for my shoulder. My shoulder is 14. So but I'm taking out 1 inch. So I'll mark 6 inches. So from this part, because it is an off shoulder, because of that first 5 inches, I'm going to mark 8 inches like this. That's 8 inches from here for my armhole. So I'll just curve it like this. This is for my armhole now. And then on this part, I'm going to take out my bust measurement. My bust is 36. When you divide 36 into 4, you have 9. This is 9. And then I'm going to add 1.5 inch allowance to it. So I'm going to mark like this. And then I'll come to my under bust. So my under bust is 32. So when you divide 32 into 4, you have 8. So I'll mark it like this, and then I'm going to add the same 1.5 inches on the side. I'll mark it like this, and then I'll come to the waist part. So for the waist part, I'm going to use the same measurements that I used here. That's is 33, so that's 8.5, and then I'll add my 1.5 inch also. So I'll mark it like this. And then on the down part now, I'm going to mark out my down part. The down part is 40, so this is 40 inches, and then I'll add 1.5 inches. So I'm just going to mark this before I create out the basque effect on it, so you can see how it is looking. So I'm not cutting it out yet. I just want to finish everything. So for the neckline, so let's work on the neckline. So for the neckline part, I'm going to come to this point like this. I'm going to use 3 inches for my neckline. So for the neckline, I'm going to use 3.5. So 3.5 is just like exactly on this my center piece. So from this point like this, I'm going to slope it into the neckline. So that's the width. So the length, remember I'm using 5 inches, so I'm going to take one. So it depends on how deep I want it to be. So I'm going to use 1.5. So this 1.5, I'm just going to take it like this. So it is like a straight neckline. And then I'll curve it into that part. Remember that curve that I made? So cut out now. So the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to create out our basque effect. So for the basque effect, I'm going to start from this waist point. It's just a simple process. I'm just going to take so depends on how deep you want it to be. You can decide to come down by 1.5 inches from your waistline, and then just take your ruler like this, and then you create it like this round. But since this is a round one, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the curve of my ruler to curve it. So it is a simple process. So I'm going to cut out now. So I'll curve it out so you see how it is looking. So you see the front. This is how it's going to be curved. So you curve it to your waist part. If you want it more deeply, you can come up. So the next time I'm going to open this up now. Let's see what we have. So you see how our dress is looking like. So it is very simple and easy. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to cut out the back piece. So for the back, I'm just going to use my normal regular basic body pattern to cut it out. I'm going to mark it now, just your normal basic body pattern. So I'm going to explain what I did. So this is the back pattern, normal basic back pattern. So you are still going to use your 5 inches drop. So this is my bust point, my under bust, and then the back length. This one is long because of the basque. So the blouse length is 19 inches. So that's the 19 inches. And then for my dart, I'm going to use my bust span measurement to add my dart. So this is my zipper allowance. I'm using 1 inch. So this is my bust span measurement. So I'm just going to add a normal waist dart for the back pattern. So I'm going to cut out now. So for the back neckline is still the same straight neckline. So this is my 1 inch for my zipper. So I'm still going to add my 3 inches like that, and then the depth. So I can decide to make the back neckline a little bit deeper. So I'm going to use 7.5. So I'm just going to mark it like this because it is a square neckline, and then this part I'm going to float into this part like that. So I'll open up, add my dart here, and then I'll go ahead and go and stitch them together. So I'll stitch back and front together. So I'll stitch them, and then back together. Okay, so I finished joining my dress. So you could see it. So it's just a simple, very simple dress. So the next thing we're going to do now is for us to cut out the sleeve. So for the sleeve is a simple process. So a video that I made, that's the second, before this last video I made, I showed how to actually sew this kind of sleeve. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop the link in the description box for you to follow it. So but I'm going to show you how to cut it. It's a simple process. So I've done this sleeve on this channel for, as in I have it, people that have been following the channel, they know. So this kind of off shoulder sleeve, it is a very simple process. So I'm going to use my pattern paper now to show you how to achieve this sleeve. So what you are going to do, you are going to determine, so I'm just going to assume that this part is the folded part of my pattern paper is folded into two. You know it is a ball sleeve, it's a little bit big. So what you are going to do, you are going to make sure that your armhole measurement is okay. If you feel, if the armhole measurement is not okay, you deepen your armhole a little bit. So you deepen your armhole a little bit. So once you deepen your armhole a little bit, you are going to use half of your round sleeve measurement. So for mine, the round sleeve measurement, that's on the bicep part, is actually 10 inches. So what you are going to do, you are going to take your, you know my pattern paper is folded. Okay, let me just fold it into two. Let me just fold it into two for people that will, so they will not get confused. So I'm supposed to use 5 inches normally, but because I'm going to gather it, I'm going to use about 8 inches or 10 inches. So let me just use 7 inches because my pattern paper is almost finished. So this is 7 inches here. The next thing you are going to measure is the length of the sleeve. So for this, we're going to use 11 inches. So we're going to use 11 inches. So the width, because it has elastic also, you are going to double the width, depends on how big you want it to be. Okay, so what you are going to do, you are just going to take this like this, and then you are going to put it here like this on this armhole point, and then just give it a slight curve like this. It is a simple process, and then from this point like this, you would move to your this part. So this part, like I said, depends on how big you want it to be. So normally mine is supposed to be, on a normal day, my round sleeve is 12 inches, which is 6 inches. But if I want to add gathers to it, so I can make it, I can decide to make it like 12 inches. That's, it's going to be as long as this, and then this part also is going to be long. That's, you just add, because you know you are going to gather this part and then gather this part. So you just use your own discretion and add as much quantity you want. I'll use that word quantity. Don't really know fabric, it's quantity. That's, it's just to measure. So you just pleat this part like this. So at the end of the day, this part is going to be pleated, and then it's going to be stained on top. It's going to be stained on top like this. So it's going to be stained like this. So when you pleat, this part is going to have that elastic that we have on the picture, and then this down part also is going to have the elastic. So I hope you got the concept. So I'm going to drop the link of that video for you to watch this sleeve. You see how to add the elastic inside. So I showed it in the video. So thank you so much. I'm going to place this now on the mannequin for you to see the final look. So the real essence of this tutorial is actually for the neckline, that's the off shoulder, and then the basque. So for the people that want it, so for the person that wanted it, so that's just the essence of this tutorial. That's why I made it. So I had to use a rough fabric just to make it, so that they can see it. So thank you so much. If you find this video helpful, I would appreciate if you hit on the like button to make me know you appreciate what I did with this video. So thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video. Okay, so at the end of the day, so you see how the dress is looking like. So like I said, it's just for you to fix the sleeve on it. That's the off shoulder sleeve on it, and then so you could see all of our lines. So at least the concept of the dress, of the style is known. So for those of you that wanted it. So when you see it, so with this you should be able to cut yours and then sew it. So thank you so much. If you find this video helpful, I will appreciate if you hit on the like button to make me know you appreciate what I did. So thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video.